The World Health Organization leading a joint mission with Americans and Chinese to investigate the coronavirus outbreak. This, as a new survey shows that most Americans approve of the way the CDC is handling things here at home. The case much different than it was back in 2014 with Ebola. And this is why I'm picking the CDC as my winner of the week, which means it is time for District Media President Beverly Hallberg to join me. You know, Beverly, I think they're doing a great job. Every day I'm looking at consumer confidence levels. They're actually going up during all of this. And if the American public isn't panicking yet, I think it's largely because the CDC is kept as well informed.
Absolutely. And I know they made a really hard decision saying that foreign nationals and U.S. citizens who had been in certain regions in China were not able to come back here without being quarantined first. That was a really hard decision to make. But I think because of that, it actually gives researchers here time to try to find a vaccine before we have the virus spread even further. So I think they've made tough decisions, but it's all made us feel more comfortable. I know I'm not scared yet, so that's good news. Awful what's going on in China, but good news for us so far.
All right, now I want to share a loser because I think it's going to be a surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise. My second one is, but not my first one. It's Joe Biden. He's obviously having a bad week. Came in fifth in New Hampshire. Many calling, in fact, for him to drop out. But, you know, I think the worst thing he might have done is this new ad that he's put out in South Carolina that when I watched it, I felt like I was watching Porgy and Bess. Take a listen.
We don't feel no ways tired. We've come too far from where we started. Nobody told me the road would be easy.
You know, listen, this is not the first time a Democratic candidate has quoted a James Cleveland hymn. Take a listen to this. It's happened before.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
Well, I feel very tired from all that pandering, Beverly. Between that and hot sauce in the purse, I don't know. Why does this happen every election?
I have no idea. You would think that people would learn over time, especially during a time when authenticity is king in these elections. And when you see this type of pandering, even putting on that thick Southern accent, it just doesn't work. And Joe Biden has been saying 99.9% of black voters have not voted yet. I don't think this is going to win over many people, including black voters. So I am not quite sure why they put out this ad. It's definitely a loser.
My other loser on Valentine's Day, and I'm not talking about the husbands who forgot or waited to the last minute because I'm one of them. No, it's that the holiday is not a moneymaker for the economy that it used to be. Not even for restaurants. I bet you didn't know this. It's the 94th busiest day of the year for eating out. Cinco de Mayo is actually busier, Beverly.
Well, this was according to last year, so this is my hope. With Valentine's Day on Thursday last year, on Friday this year, maybe it'll do better because it's the weekend. But I also wonder on top of that, do people just think it's going to be chaotic out there at the restaurants and then prefer to stay home? Maybe they're making their wives a nice dinner at home, and that's what people are doing instead.
No, you know what it is? It's a lot of folks who don't really go out a lot, so they linger. They sit there and they have a glass of wine and an extra, and it's a romantic night, and they hadn't done it in a long time, and they don't turn the tables over. It's so amazing. This should be the biggest night, one of them, but because customers stay there so long, they just don't get up. Now, I know that you say there's a winner in all of this Valentine's Day stuff, and it's Red Lobster? Red Lobster?
It's Red Lobster. I know. I'm not a huge fan of the restaurant. I'll say that outright. However, their biscuits, their Cheddar Bay biscuits are amazing, and they did a heart-shaped box this year filled with biscuits. The reason why it's my winner is I realize I'm in the minority in this, but I do not like chocolate. So I like there to be the option of something else that people can give you or that you can give to someone that's not chocolate, that is actually a nice buttery biscuit.
And you can't go wrong with a heart-shaped biscuit.
Correct.
Before you go, I got a minute to go, but I'm sure you saw that video of the airline passenger kept punching the reclining seat. The woman was in front of him. Well, just moments ago, the Delta CEO weighing in on this has been a never-ending debate, saying that people should ask for permission before reclining their seat. What do you think, Beverly?
Well, I do not recline because I travel a lot and I know what it feels like to be on the reciprocating end of that. However, I'm going to put something out there crazy that maybe they don't let the seats recline. If the seats are so tight and uncomfortable, either make the seating larger or don't allow the seats to recline, because this continues to be a perpetual problem, even though I do not agree with how this man handled the situation and punching the woman's chair.
That was tough. I had an ugly situation about 12 years ago, and it was the last time I ever flown coach. If I'm going to fly, I'm going first class, or I ain't going at all. Beverly,
you heard it here. First class or nothing.
Happy Valentine's
Thanks so much.
Day. Great
You too,
seeing you
Charles.
as usual. And